First at 5, 10 News with Tracy Spicer.
Making news tonight, Australians flee the Solomon Islands coup amid the threat of civil war. Firefighters battle to prevent an inferno spreading to neighbouring homes as horrified victims look on. And an emotional service for the 8 killed in one of Australia's worst plane crashes. Good evening. First tonight, a dramatic speed-up of evacuation plans for Australians in the Solomon Islands. As civil war threatens to erupt, Australians are being airlifted from the capital, Honiara, back home. Safe from the strife-torn Solomons at last. 26 Australians among the first 60 foreigners airlifted out of Honiara. Another 90 people have also touched down in New Zealand, both groups exhausted but glad to be home. The arrival yesterday of a Commonwealth delegation, including Foreign Minister Alexander Downer, gave the Air Force their window to act. A temporary ceasefire in place for the peace talks held, but there were no risks with security. Commonwealth ministers meeting Prime Minister Alufa Alu, now free from house arrest, and the rebel leader who captured him, Andrew Norrie, now considering signing a truce to end the bloodshed.
Not yet, but I think the meetings will set the basis for future peace initiatives.
Australian peacekeepers were also discussed, but returning this morning, Alexander Downer instead favoured peace monitors, saying the first priority must be restoring constitutional government.
If his word is to be believed, then we can expect a quieter time. But frankly, if history is any guide here, we need to just wait and see.
Police have little control on the streets of Honiara, but calm has been restored. Shops are open with busy long weekend trading. Many locals are questioning why foreigners are being evacuated at all.
It's stable at the moment, but who knows how things can change quickly.
And things have changed in the country's west, with reports of a new ethnic militia group linked to the Bougainville Revolutionary Army severing links with the rest of the Solomons. The Defence Force is considering another airlift evacuation out of Honiara. The 480 foreigners on board the HMAS Tobruk are still 2 days out from Cairns, bad weather providing some bumpy sailing.
And I'd say about 90% of the people on board are enjoying themselves, with a 10% are a little bit sick.
Deborah Knight, 10 News. Fire has destroyed an old Queenslander in a spectacular blaze in Brisbane. 4 people narrowly escaped the inferno that threatened to spread to neighbouring properties.
Flames roared through the old timber home, turning the partly renovated Queenslander into a fireball. It took emergency crews just minutes to arrive, but there was nothing they could do but stop the flames spreading to neighbouring properties. Up to 50 people had been celebrating a 30th birthday party in the house only hours before the blaze. Police say 4 people were asleep inside when the fire broke out. They escaped through a rear door. It's thought hot coals and an outdoor brazier may have sparked the blaze.
They had 3 tenants in there, and they all sort of got out the door, obviously quite safely, thank God.
Landlord Dwayne Monty only bought the Paddington house last week. He hadn't even had time to take down the for sale sign. Now he has an anxious wait over the long weekend to speak to his insurance company.
Well, I got the phone call about 8 o'clock this morning, and I kind of was a bit disbelieving, and then it wasn't until I sort of come down the street and saw the extent of the damage, and just all the dreams have gone up and obviously up in smoke.
The fire service is again warning people to take extra care with all fires and heaters during the winter months. Lisa Goddard Rolls, 10 News.
A fireman has been injured fighting a spectacular blaze on Perth's Millionaires Row. Toxic smoke from burning insulation billowed from the Mossman Park mansion next door to the home of businesswoman Janet Holmes Court. The homeowners and their children weren't in the house at the time. The cause of the blaze is not known. And a fire has led to guests being turfed out into the cold from a Snowy Mountains hotel. 40 people had to be cleared from Thredbo's Alpine Hotel when smoke and flame filled the 3-storey building. Investigators say the fire started in a blocked chimney in the middle of the long weekend peak season. The hotel is back in business tonight. Hospitals are on alert for cases of strychnine poisoning as the Panadol extortion continues. A husband and wife, poisoned after taking headache tablets, remain in a serious condition tonight but are expected to make a full recovery.
48 Panadol and Panadine products scrapped from the shelves following the strychnine poisoning of a Queensland couple who took headache capsules while holidaying in the Northern Territory.
Very close call. It was certainly a life-threatening situation.
The 61-year-old man and his 54-year-old wife were on life support for 18 hours, but are now expected to make a full recovery.
We would expect them both to be discharged in the next day or two, and the prognosis is excellent.
Now the company is focusing on the massive recall, which is expected to take 2 weeks. But plans are already being made to provide emergency supplies to hospitals and for limited access to some products like children's Panadol.
Begin supply back through pharmacy on a behind-the-counter basis, which is really a very safe and, again, discreet supply chain.
Police are no closer to catching the extortionists and are calling for those responsible to make contact again. Until then, the manufacturer can only continue clearing shelves and reassure the public when new product finally hits the stores, it'll be repackaged totally different to the old.
We must make sure consumers are aware that this is the new Panadol or the new Panadine or the new children's Panadol, to give them that reassurance that this is the new product.
People with any Panadol or Panadine products should take it into a chemist or grocery shop for a full refund. Anita Clark, 10 News.
Now the latest on the Olympic Flames progress. The torch begins its journey up the Queensland coast tonight, stopping at Coolangatta. Proving it is the eternal flame, torchbearers today battled wet and windy conditions to share the Olympic spirit.
Day 4 of its epic journey around Australia. In Warwick, the spirit of the Games wasn't going to be dampened by less than favourable conditions.
It's a miserable winter's day.
A mounted guard of honour welcomed the torch relay to town, and in answer to everyone's prayers, the skies dried up as the flame was passed on.
Oh, this is magnificent. I'm so excited.
And it was only fitting Australia's equestrian heartland put on a horse spectacular, hundreds following the Olympic procession through Warwick streets. Allara schoolgirl Laura Geitz had plenty of support from classmates for her leg of the relay.
I'm really looking forward to see Laura run.
The 12-year-old ecstatic after the most memorable run of her life.
It just felt like it wasn't even true. It was just so good.
With the community cauldron alight, the heavens opened once again.
From chilly Warwick, the flame will head to the east coast before making its way closer to Brisbane on Tuesday. Georgina Lewis, 10 News. Now checking the sports headlines in Canberra, Matthew White.
Thanks, Tracy. The V8 supercars have left their mark on the national capital. The 2 races today in the GMC 400 produced plenty of drama and a few upsets. The narrow street circuit here too tough for some of the drivers to deal with. Obviously the crowd as well. A full report on the V8s is coming up. The Woodies have become the most successful men's doubles pairing in tennis history, breaking the world record for titles after claiming their first French Open crown. And we'll have all of the Sunday footy, including the big AFL game between the Swans and the Bombers, and today's National Rugby League Round 19 matches. The details in the 5:30 edition of Sports Tonight, if I survive. Tracy?
Thank goodness you've got a loud voice. Thanks, Matt. Still to come in 10 News, an emotional memorial service for 8 victims of South Australia's worst plane crash. And the death of a key figure in Middle East politics brings a parliament to tears.
The trust they shared will be shattered in the name of revenge.
Did you bring this into my house?
Harrison Ford.
It was all lies, wasn't it?
And Brad Pitt.
I have to go. I'm also a cop, and I can't let you go.
The Devil's Own, 8:30 tonight.
At Grantley Perry & Sons Funerals, we pride ourselves on the quality of service that we provide and the reasonable cost at which we can provide it. We are a locally owned family business, so in your time of bereavement, let our family help your family.
The trucks have pulled in, out they come. A convoy of savings from the Snow Skiers Warehouse. There are truckloads of skis, boots, snowboards, ski and snow clothing, accessories, all current models and all leading brands. Save by the truckload with the Snow Skiers Warehouse this weekend, June 17 and 18 at Exhibition Park.
It's the things that we do at Valley Retrovision. The things that we do at Valley Retrovision.
It's Valley Retrovision's birthday and they're celebrating. This NEC 4 stereo TV with Teletext only $9.95. The ultimate baker's oven $1.99. 51cm remote TV $3.99. Clean up with the Excellence washer $8.95 with bonus laundry pack. Plus the original 3-in-1 plastic $1.45. All with interest-free terms.
At Valley Retrovision.
Did you know you can shop at Canberra's best retail outlets in the comfort of your own living room? Chamber Mall, sponsored by the ACT Chamber of Commerce, brings you hundreds of products and services from Canberra's leading retailers. Chamber Mall is Canberra's most prestigious internet shopping centre. It lets you browse and buy online. So, save your legs and shop the convenient way. Chamber Mall, www.chambermall.com.au.
Regal Homes, bringing the great Australian dream to reality.
Stop! Graceland stages 1, 2 and 3 are sold out. Stage 4 is only 13 blocks left. Blocks start from only $54,000, so hurry, they can't last. There's house and land packages from as little as $165,000. And remember, you could qualify for the $7,000 first home buyer's grant. Graceland's the estate, Queanbeyan.
Everyone deserves a Regal home.
Virtual mayhem.
The program's running itself.
Virtual terror.
Put the sword down.
She has no weakness anymore.
Virtual murder.
No fair picking on girls.
A killer new X-Files. 8:30 Wednesday on 10.
Labor is stepping up the pressure on the GST. It's now talking about its own laws to ban